Hello everyone and welcome to another tarot reading. How are we all holding up with this intense eclipse energy? It's crazy. I swear, on eclipse day itself and yesterday it was so intense. Today it's kind of like settling down a little bit, but I still feel it. I am exhausted. Who else? So yeah, I want to hear all about it from you guys. But yeah, let's see what's going on so far. I want to kind of like look at what patterns, what wounds are popping up for you and what are you currently integrating, so you have a little bit of an idea. I know what for me is up, so I've been very on it with Reiki sessions and journaling and processing and literally just trying to sleep it away, to be honest, a little bit. But yeah, what about you? You know, if you have no idea what it is that you need to work through, you need a little bit of some guidance. I'm also going to make some shadow work prompts for both of my YouTube channels and post them in the community chat or tab, whatever. And I'm also going to make some deeper ones for my Inner Circle members, so if you're not part of those, link down below. But yeah, I'm gonna post that on the weekend. Okay, let me just lay out the cards and see what is going on and get an overall look. Wow, wow. Okay. Oh, 2 cards. Okay. Holy shit. Okay, so we're starting off with these 2 cards. We have the Hierophant and the Page of Swords. Unlearning things that you've been carrying for quite a long while. That especially the Page is kind of like very newbie energy, you know. He's just getting started. He's like fresh meat basically. So stuff that you learned programming during your adolescence, like literally teenage years. And then the Knight of Wands. Yeah, literally when you were just starting out, when you were just getting slowly into adulthood. And yeah, but you know what, we have a very good thing here, because you're literally healing and transforming through this very beautifully. The Star card and Death right next to each other is so beautiful. Such good energy. So you are not blind towards what it is that your heart needs, where your desires are currently at, right? The Judgment is in reverse here, not because you're not aware of it, because it's kind of like sinking in with, I have never really been really happy. Like, this is finally being highlighted to you. You're kind of purging out this energy of being blind in a way, I guess. Kind of like having a blindfold over your eyes, that with the Hierophant here, it could literally be family, that your family sheltered you, always try to keep you from having bad experiences, which is very interesting because in a way our parents want us to grow and get strong and be able to stand on our own feet, but because they experienced certain things in their past, they are like, let me make sure my children never have to. But not like in a helicopter sense, but more of a for example, for me, one of my big themes was when I grew up, I was not allowed to cry when I was sad, when something upset me. Because for my parents, I guess growing up, that show, they were taught kind of like, oh, it breaks you down. It makes you weaker in the sense of it's too much to handle, right? And I guess in a way they translated that to me, but that resulted in me not being able to handle my emotions and then falling into a depression hole, you know, because I had no idea where to put all these feelings, right? So that was their way of sheltering me a little bit, of like, oh, don't feel too big, but haha, I'm an Aries moon. There's no way around it. I feel super intensely. I cannot feel stuff on like a surface level. It's either all or nothing, and it burns very fast. That was, and for me then to suppress it was even worse, you know. But if you've kind of like feel a similar theme where your parents kind of like try to shelter you, on one hand they try to push you to be independent, you know, but also at the same time they kind of like wanted to shelter you and be like, no, don't struggle with stuff, which make you then struggle, because now you're like, okay, but how the F am I supposed to process all these feelings that are coming up right now in the eclipse? But we have the Four of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles, which I love. So that means this eclipse basically, so this first week is for you to realize how to stabilize yourself, how to make you feel super grounded. And the Ten of Cups here is literally security, literally feeling safe. So even through all of this, your root chakra is not as frazzled as you would think, you know. We have some anxiety, which is normal, you know, still a little bit left over. The first couple of days after the eclipse are the hardest, but this Knight of Pentacles, like you, the way you prepared before this, even if you only did like a tiny little bit of preparing and you listened to me from my previous readings, because I don't say things just to say it, that already set you up for a much bigger success than other people that are just like, oh, let's just drown in these feelings, you know. I mean, like, I'm in the middle of breaking a 13-year karmic cycle and wound, and I cannot expect it to be gone within like 24 hours, right? It's a lot that's coming up, but I am definitely doing way better today than yesterday. But yesterday, holy shit, I cried like 3 times in the morning before noon, right? Like it just kept flowing, and I was like, I hate this, but whatever, I need it. And then I napped for like an hour and 15 minutes in the afternoon to just literally be able to just let my body rest and process the things. So again, the way you prepare and the way you handle it during the eclipse literally determines how the rest of the year is gonna be like, especially because the next eclipse, which is going to be again the solar eclipse first and then the lunar eclipse, is going to be in August. So until then, we have time to integrate everything. What else, Spirit? What else does my collective need to know? Let's see. We have the Ace of Cups, and then the Tower, and the Eight of Cups. I love this. Okay, so Spirit is saying, make sure that during, I'm hearing between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Those are the peak days. Okay, no suppressing the emotions. You're literally, this is the biggest shift that's gonna happen on the weekend. Which is funny, you would think it is right after the eclipse, you know, the first 24 to 48 hours, but it's actually after, when the energy settles and then you also come down from the high, and then that's when you do the most inner work. So this weekend, basically, if it's possible, you can go out and have fun and distract yourself a little bit, but not the whole day, okay? You need to do some inner work. Do that, please, and literally it's gonna be so freeing, because a bunch of things are gonna be let go or released during that time. The Tower, and you know, we had the Death card before that, so huge transformation right now. Oh, but it is gonna bring inner peace. The Four of Wands here is such a good sign, because it feels like very celebratory in the sense of like, for you it also makes click, like, oh, okay, the cycle is finally breaking, or at least a big chunk of it, because again, healing is in layers. You're going to release as much as you can during this eclipse, and then throughout the next couple of months, every day or every month, basically a tiny bit more, and then in the next lunar eclipse it's just, and the next one, I think, if I read correctly, it might be like Pisces or something like that. So, you know, If it ends up being in the water sign, then we're really going to go through our emotions. So this is kind of like a setup. But yeah, very good. This weekend is, even though you have to do that inner work, and please, I beg you, do it. Do not run away. Because if it's not this eclipse, it's going to be in the next eclipse. So there's no way around it. But it's going to be good. It's not going to be as heavy because it's the integration energy. You know, it's a little bit less intense like it was these past 2 days, where it basically just kind of like chokes you in a way. Okay, we have the Knight of Cups and then the Five of Wands. You're gonna feel a little bit conflicted about heart matters. Could be about love for some of you, could be in general about like what do you desire and which direction is your heart pulling you. You're gonna have this realization of what I wanted before, it does not resonate anymore. Because you're not the same person, and it's okay, it's fine. You do not have to stick with something that 5 years ago you were like, oh, this is it. You're allowed to change and evolve, okay? So you're gonna have to realize what it is. Then we have the King of Cups and Hanged Man in reverse. So if you want to mature emotionally a little bit more, there are things that you really need to let go. The Hanged Man in reverse right now is showing that you're holding on too much to it. It has a tight grip on you, where you have to ask yourself why. So definitely shadow work is necessary this weekend, which if I can get the shadow work prompt up tomorrow, I will try. But again, I did good in the beginning of the week with my task, and now I'm like kind of like slacking off because again, processing and all those things. And I cannot do a good video or bring you good healing stuff if I am all over the place. So I need to regulate myself first before I do the work. So yeah, please bear with me, guys. Six of Pentacles, giving and receiving. Okay, so look at it this way. I always say like 2 weeks because I heard that the shadow work post integration, God, is usually 2 weeks. But reading up on it today, like ChatGPT was like, it can be up to 4 weeks depending. And I was like, oof, so a whole month, you know, depending on like the energy and whatever it is that you're working through. So every day a tiny bit. Again, like I said, do not rush through, oh, I have to take advantage and heal as many things as possible. Every season is meant for something different, okay? So maybe for some of you it's money or love, and the next one is for self-worth and self-concept or whatever. Try to see where the pattern is right now, which theme is coming up in your life, but do not rush through it. We have the Five of Swords and the Lovers in reverse. Okay, be careful of when you don't take the chance or choice basically here to not engage in internal conflict. So whenever, like right now, as you're releasing stuff, your old story is gonna pop up. Your brain is gonna remind you and be like, is this still what you want to subscribe to? Do you still want to feel unworthy around love, or feeling unchosen, or feeling like you have to struggle your whole life to even get like a tiny breadcrumb of success? Whenever that just keeps popping up, it's a reminder not to be like, oh my god, why are you there? And just be too harsh with yourself. Be soft with yourself. And remind yourself that you don't have to engage with that story anymore. So you tell yourself, no, this is not what I subscribe to anymore. Oh, my voice all of a sudden. And it's just done, you know, cut the cord. But it's normal if the thought keeps popping up. And that's just because your brain is looking for something familiar, okay? Your brain is built up on habits. So when you do change something, your brain is gonna be like, is this true? Do we still want to think this way? And it's your responsibility to be like, nope, we're not. This is gonna be a short reading because I don't have the energy, but I still wanted to get something up. So let's ask the fairies what's up. One more card, please, and then we will move on to the High Priestess deck. Okay, we have, on one hand, we have here, please be patient. Like I said again, tiny steps, every day a little bit more. Vacation. Okay, so if you have a vacation coming up, look forward to that. Vacation does not have to be literal. Maybe it's just like take a break for like half an hour, you know. Drop everything right now that you're doing where you're like, I have to finish this, when it's not like work related. Like even in your free time, sometimes we want to be hyper productive so you can feel good. That's not what's needed right now. Okay, you need rest. Then you have the power and strength. Okay, just a reminder from Spirit that no matter how bad this seems, you have survived worse. Okay, you think you're not going to survive a little lunar eclipse energy? As if. You're a chosen one, aren't you? Who else besides you was going to be able to do this? Okay, High Priestesses, please give me some cards. Okay, we have here your High Priestess of Metatron, which, if I remember correctly, was an angel. So if you need a little bit of some help and support, talk to your angels. Tell them, this is too much for me right now. Can you please hold and share some of this weight so I can breathe? Literally, your spirit guides are there to help and support you. Use them to your advantage. Why do you feel like you have to do everything by yourself? Then we have here, I wanted to read it in German. Open your mind or ghost, basically, and all your being. Okay, so basically it's just like, stop trying to fight this energy, okay? Your soul is craving this healing. The more you fight it, the more difficult it gets. Then you are a priestess of the kingdom of Elben, okay? Whatever this resonates with you guys. Maybe your favorite things are Hobbit or Lord of the Rings, or you're very into elves and stuff like that. Revisit that. If it brings you comfort and joy, or like the music or whatever, I'm not very well known on that topic, use it to ground yourself. Use it to help you move through things and all that. Again, any tool that you can use to help yourself out this week is very, very necessary, okay? So how about we do a little butterfly emoji, and for the affirmation we can use I embrace this transformation, okay? A little bit of some surrendering, a little bit of some like, yes, we're gonna come out with a glow up after this. Because, you know, if you only really look at the bad things or like the difficult parts of this right now, we're gonna kind of like, when we get out of this at the end of this eclipse season, we're gonna be like, I'm so glad it's over. But like the beautiful part of it is the process. Like I'm so, for example, did it suck that I had to cry that much yesterday? Yes, but also the more I can let go of that wound that started literally 13 years ago to make my life easier now. Thank you so much. Like I hate it, but also at the same time super grateful for it, because I could not carry that wound with me any longer without self-sabotaging certain connections. So yeah, super grateful. But yeah, drop down below how you're handling this. What are your coping mechanisms? Maybe some of you will inspire someone else, or someone inspires you, so we can all learn from each other. I will see you guys in the next reading. I hope it gave you all the clarity that you needed. I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, bye bye.